Why men are refusing to help women. One significant reason for men refraining from helping women in such situations is the evolving landscape of gender dynamics. Over time, there has been a shift in societal attitudes, partly fueled by feminist ideals. Some women have asserted their independence and proclaimed themselves as strong, self-reliant individuals who don't need assistance from men. While this empowerment is a positive development, it has, in some cases, inadvertently led to men withdrawing from traditional roles of chivalry and assistance. If women declare they can manage on their own, some men might take that statement at face value and withhold help, even in situations where it is genuinely needed. For example, in the past, when a woman had a flat tire on the side of the road, it was common for a passing man to stop and offer assistance. Nowadays, some men might simply drive by, assuming that the woman can handle the situation herself. MGTOW Movement. The emergence of movements like MGTOW has played a role in shaping the behavior of men, with these movements advocating for men to disengage from traditional relationships and responsibilities, often citing concerns about legal and societal biases against men. While these movements represent a minority perspective, they have gained traction in some online communities. Men who align with such ideologies may adopt a stance of non-involvement, believing that their assistance will not be appreciated or may even be met with hostility. For instance, in the train incident described, the bystanders' reluctance to intervene might reflect a belief that getting involved could lead to legal consequences or false accusations. Another factor contributing to men's hesitancy to intervene in public incidents is the fear of being misunderstood or wrongly accused. In today's climate, any physical interaction between strangers, especially of different genders, can be viewed with suspicion. Men may worry that attempting to help a woman in distress could be misinterpreted as harassment or assault. This fear of backlash or legal repercussions can deter men from stepping in to assist in situations like the one on the train. For example, a man witnessing the incident might have refrained from intervening out of concern that his actions could be misconstrued as an assault attempt. Another reason why men have increasingly withdrawn from assisting women is reflective of the current era we find ourselves. Today, it seems that some women will go to great lengths for attention, engaging in activities such as running OnlyFans accounts or orchestrating pranks on unsuspecting men and labeling them as content. Storytime. To illustrate this point, consider the classic tale of the boy who cried wolf. For those who may not be familiar with this story, let me revisit it briefly. Once upon a time, in a quaint village, there lived a young shepherd tasked with herding his sheep to graze in a lush pasture just beyond the village outskirts. As days turned into a monotonous routine, the shepherd grew weary of the same old chores. Fueled by boredom, he concocted a mischievous plan. He began shouting that a pack of ravenous wolves was attacking his defenseless flock of sheep. In a frenzy, the villagers, armed with forks and knives, rushed to his aid, eager to protect the sheep from the menacing wolves. However, much to their dismay, when the villagers arrived at the pasture, they discovered that it had all been a malicious lie. There were no wolves. It was merely a cruel prank played by the mischievous shepherd. Disheartened and frustrated by this deceit, the villagers returned to their homes, realizing that they had been deceived. The following day, the shepherd repeated this fabricated crisis, once again crying out for help. Falling for his cries of distress once more, the villagers rushed to his aid, only to be met with the same disappointing truth: there were no wolves. Now, on the third day, when genuine danger finally approached, and a pack of hungry wolves truly threatened the shepherd's sheep, the young boy cried out for help with all his might. Desperate and fearing for the lives of his sheep, he pleaded for assistance from the villagers. However, this time, his cries fell upon deaf ears. The villagers, recalling the false alarms of the previous days, believed this to be just another one of the shepherd's pranks and chose not to respond. Tragically, the wolves attacked, and the shepherd's flock was devastated. The shepherd had lost the trust of the very people who could have helped him in his moment of genuine need. Attention-seeking women. In today's society, we can draw a parallel between this age-old story and the behavior of some women. the boy symbolizing these women, the actual rapists or assailants representing the wolves, and the men who have become increasingly hesitant to provide aid, the MGTOW men, paralleling the villagers. Just as the villagers became cautious and reluctant to respond to the boy's calls for help due to his history of deceit, some men are now wary of engaging with women whom they perceive as seeking attention or engaging in pranks. This isn't to suggest that all women are insincere, but the proliferation of such behavior in the age of social media and online content creation has contributed to a sense of caution among some men. We men are feeling quite perplexed these days. There's a trend of recording situations where a man tries to assist, but the outcome is far from what we expect. We've witnessed instances where a man genuinely wanted to help a woman at the gym, noticing she had taken on more than she could handle. However, to our shock, the woman began recording him, alleging sexual harassment. It's truly disheartening. Take, for instance, the case of the woman who looked like she needed help at the gym, but when a man tried to help, instead of a thank you, she pulled out a camera and said she was recording and accused him of harassing her. These pranks and attention-seeking behaviors from women may inadvertently affect individuals who genuinely require assistance. Another reason why men are increasingly hesitant to assist is the fear of being perceived as creepy. The concept of what constitutes creepiness has become rather subjective in the minds of modern women. If you don't align with their standards of attractiveness, almost anything you do might be labeled as creepy. Even acts of genuine kindness can be misinterpreted as sexual harassment. This puts us in a precarious position, where an attempt to help might lead to legal consequences. As a result, many of us are choosing not to assist women in distress, as we value our freedom. In summary, these situations have arisen partly due to the actions of some women themselves. It's not always possible to solve every problem, and this particular issue has deeply ingrained itself in the perceptions of both men and women. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.